Hello, London. It's Dale Henderson, Councillor Ward 9, here to talk to you directly on the new daletv.ca broadcast in order for you to get truthful and opportunity in your ward and certainly in London, what I'm going to broadcast with this new way to, as Marshall McLuhan said, the media is the message. I'm going to make sure that you get the message. Just recently, Woody Allen had a statement and said that he got his tongue caught in the typewriter. You understand what I mean? Well, now I'm going to have to come broadcasting to you for you to find out what I want to say, what I want to do, and the reasons why I was elected and what I wanted to be elected for in the City of London. There are 10 reasons. I'm going to go over the 10 reasons and give you the value for the next 2 years, how I'm doing and to what extent I'm successful or not, and the 10 reasons why I wanted to change London, be your ward representative, and to get excited with making this city the best city in Canada. So number one reason I'm going to itemize is, who am I? What's my background? Because it's very, very important to know your candidate, because the way I think, the way I do, the way I respond to how people are putting hands in your pocket and with your wallet and giving the license and the legal reasons to spend that, you should know about me and to what I want to do with your money and to what extent I'm getting the best services in London and so you can afford it. So that's the first thing, and we're going to have 10 videos after this, and I'll do a 10-minute video on each one of these to give you an update of how I'm doing, to what I'm being successful or not, and you can be the judgment. The second reason is annexation. Certainly Lambeth is wondering in over 15 years now, where are the services that we're supposed to get? What about the sewer services? Now they're trying to shut down the busing to our area. Are we ever going to get the services that we're paying for and been paying for many years, and not including Byron as well as now Riverbend? And I think that's something that I'm going to talk to you about with another video, of course, and see what you can do to help me and to what extent we can change the city to giving us services that I think we are all needing. Three is the reason one of the reasons why I wanted to get elected was to change and break down some of the silos across London. What do you mean by silos? Well, silos are what companies and businesses do, stick to themselves, just do what they want to do, in some cases spend government money, but don't bother me because somebody else may be doing the same thing. So when it comes to silos, you're talking about either a not-for-profit group, it could be a university, it could be a hospital, it could be a college system, it could be just a not-for-profit and for-profit. So it could be a business, a company, someone that's spending their own money to the extent that they're not communicating across town. So if we're going to be a great city, we have to communicate with each other and combine our resources so the taxpayer doesn't have to pay for everything we have to do. Number four, is I want competition in services, which means if we get the best service in London, we can keep our taxes as low as possible. But that means, is it going to be a union service? Is it a non-union service? Is it something that we can compete with? Is it something that we haven't thought about competing? Is there regulations and bylaws say we can't? So I want to take a look at those issues so that we can get a lower tax for us, because I want to compete so we get the best service and be able to measure it. The key thing is to have to measure that. Lower taxes and measuring, of course, is the number 5, which will show us, are we doing it inside city council or inside city hall, or are we buying consultants? Are we hiring that outside, or are we should be getting from another company that's doing the job better than maybe we're doing it? But we have to measure that, we have to look at that, we have to consider that, we have to talk about that. And I'm trying to let you know, and from another video, I'll let you know how that's going and to what extent I can or cannot, with my 1 vote on 15 votes, see if I can make that happen, or at least try to encourage my other councillors, whether it be 8 other ones, if possible, to change the laws, if not change the way we do things in London. So that'll be another number 5. Number 6 is job creation. Job creation comes from the private sector, not from the government sector. Yes, they can maybe make 5% of the jobs government, but the majority of jobs are coming from the small business and the people that want to invest their money in the hopes of making $1. So to make a profit is what it's all about, and this is how our whole country, an industrial country, has grown. So we want to aid, we want to help, and when it comes to city council, we want to help them spend their money, create jobs, and then create some wealth in the community, which is good for everybody. Number 7 is, I'm going to go over a bit of the history. I've been here 65 years in this town. I know a whole bunch about the history in this town. And I want to tell you about the history and to what's happened that grew the city to the place it's at, and to what extent are we now in a situation where we're hearing negative news all the time. We're having a whole media that's basically the worst that I've seen, and to what extent can we change that, and why has it got to be that way? And I'm going to give you my insights as to how that got there, what we can do to change it, and to what extent can we force the media in this town to start giving some positive news and giving us factual news to the extent that we can start to enjoy this city and start to celebrate this city and to get opportunities, and that we can dialogue and maybe get involved with opportunities that are positive, that aren't just always taxpayers' money. So that's number 7. Number 8, I want to change some of the busing system in this town. I mean, we have a busing system, as far as I'm concerned, is antiquated, and it's coming at us for anywhere from 3 to 5% every year, or we're not going to jump on the bus. And they're trying to shut down now the busing in Lambeth and some Byron and Riverbend. That can't happen. So we have to find out ways, and why are we getting this? How can we change the system? Why have we got 13 busing routes going to Dundas and Richmond like it was in 1959? But to change that, anything I've heard is it takes 5 years just to think about it. Well, it doesn't take 5 years to think about it. We've got 2 years left. It's time to change some of that. So I'm looking at the modeling, I'm looking at the laws, I'm looking at the legal issues, our bylaws, to say, how do we change this so we don't buy an $800,000 bus and have 3 people running on a double bus? Or why can't we go to the new subdivisions? Why do we have to cut back? You know, why are we thinking about having great big fast lines going from one part of the city to the other part of the city that nobody even wants to go there? So I'm looking at changing that, and to what extent I can help based on where people want to go. They want to go across town quickly. They want to go to the university. They want to go to the college. They want to go to the hospital. They want to go to the shopping plazas. But they don't want to all go downtown. So I think there's some things that we're going to look at, get excited about, and I think we can maybe make some positive changes in the next 2 years. And I'm going to have a video on that as well. Number 9 is I've found a whole bunch of things getting involved with my one vote on council is to what happened to democracy? Where's the democracy that I thought I had when I was a youngster? And it's not there anymore. We're losing our democracy. Frankly, the last democratic area right now is the city council, if they don't have an ombudsman coming at you because 3 or 4 of you sat down for dinner. But it's something that I'm going to enunciate a bit to find out why are people walking around in Victoria Park with signs. They've lost their democracy. And why is the provincial government, why is the federal government now becoming dictatorial, and we're losing our democracy, which is because the system is set up, and I'm going to try to enunciate what you can do to change that. Boy, they're going to have to change some of the courses on politics, I guess, because I think these are, we've never even thought about that, or at least talked about it, that I think there's ways that you can, with your one vote, change the system in the country that we're in right now and make it better. So that'll be number 9, and there'll be a video on that as well. And number 10 is I'm going to, living outside the box. I've lived outside the box. I had 7 companies, and we've had everything from healthcare to electronics to racetrack, for heaven's sake. But there's some things to do with healthcare that I'm looking at now, which is very, very interesting to do with what research we're not doing, and to what extent the big business have paid and are paying, both government and both institutions. They bought us off. And now I'm looking at where's the research that isn't bought off, or where's the research money that's going that isn't for a pharmaceutical, for example. So I've got some videos to show you, and I think about 7, to do with cancer that was cured back in the 40s. Now this is going to get real interesting. I can only give you one at a time here because we don't want to be mauled at, but I'm going to give you one a week and show you what has happened by a video in the 40s that cured cancer. And to me, wow, we should be spending money and figuring out and demonstrating, is that true or is that not true? And to what extent can we learn from that? There may not be a pharmaceutical at the end of the day, but we may get some kind of a life change, some type of a food change, and that would be very, very helpful, and that's what we should be spending our money on. So that'll be interesting as well. The points to ponder is there's some things happening around London, very positive, There's some dynamic happening. There's ways that people are happy in London that we don't even hear about. There's even a spiritual dimension going on in this town that I think you should know about. And I'm going to have some video with that as well, that I think is going to be very, very interesting to keep track of and to tune in once in a while, the DaleTV.ca. I'm going to see if I can engender a whole bunch of dialogue so you can help me and help also other Londoners getting a new spectrum of how we can help, how we can change this city, and to what extent we can change even the media, to the extent that what we get and what we're getting from City Hall is going to be very exciting.